Let's go into mangrove so that we got something a little different. I don't want to keep making deciduous and coniferous and different types of forests. You're kind of getting the general idea on those. So we'll go with that mangrove. This mangrove's going to go right here. What I'll do is I'll just create a regular tropical type of forest. So if I type in tree, I'll put in these tropical palm trees, and I'll kind of put them in here. And then the closer that I get to the water, I'll start changing the trees so to show that there's like a transition between trees that are not adapted to brackish water. And then once you get out into the water, we'll use a different tree to show that is the tree that has adapted to that. Now I'm going to remember to try to keep the scale here. So I'll bring this palm tree right next to this tree right here, make sure I got the scale right. And then I'll go in and create a plethora of palm trees just right in here like this. We can maybe even put like an oasis in there or something. I'm not sure. Make a little hole so we can put stuff in there. And then we'll have this forest kind of go all along the coast here. Create like, remember that trick of doing clusters? A bunch of clusters there, puts a bunch here. And then once we start getting to the land part or the water part, we'll use a different tree. Let's use these willow trees. I think this should be distinct enough. And then what I'll do is I'll just place a couple along the coastline. It's a little big, make it a little bit smaller, but just place a couple along the coastline, just right along the coastline like this. Maybe some a little further out into the water. Obviously that would be like a mile or two out, but for the purpose of the video, so you can, or the purpose of actually seeing the map, we place them a little further out. I'll make a little bit smaller ones, and then just kind of along the coastline, make sure to put a couple here and there so you have that nice mangrove. And then we can go in and we can kind of select every single one of them, and we can either use object shadows or we can paint them. That's really up to you. This is a temperate zone, so let's go with, you know what, I think I'll paint it this time. So I'll use this kind of green color right here. Make sure the opacity is all up set to FG, and I'll just put this nice kind of like green color right here. You know, I don't think I like that one. Let's go with this color instead. Just see what it looks like. Yeah, that works fine. And then I'll actually select all the different trees. We'll use an object shadow plus texturing. We'll do a little bit of both. Custom object shadow. I don't want to keep using like the same green like every time. Bring that intensity up. There we go. Bring the blur down so we can get that extra shadows in there. And then we'll go ahead and create a lighter color and then kind of place that into the center part. Whenever you're kind of doing the texturing, remember to kind of bring the opacity down. And then right here in the center, I'll put this lighter color. And you would expect this negative space to be a little bit lighter because it has more ability to see, or it's open. It's not closed, so more sunlight can get to it. So when you have these openings between the forest areas, don't forget to paint in those open areas a little bit lighter. They have more access to the sun because there's not a thick forest there. And so it's also going to help to make the trees pop out because the trees are a darker color and then the open spaces are a lighter color. So very helpful to kind of remember that trick. So now we have that nice mangrove plus this other